Hey guys, welcome back. It's time. We're going to take a look at more incidents here that it seems like Pokemon in Japan is turning into the Western world, what we had in 2021, the madness that was. We have more crime happening. And again, I know people don't like to expect this from Japan. They think it's a very honest country, that crime is at a bare minimum. But I'm here to tell you that you still got to be careful when there's money involved, regardless of what it is, where it is. You're gonna have some bad actors. We got an article here that we'll touch back on at the end. It didn't really warrant its own video, but we have police arrest man on suspicion of stealing expensive Pokemon trading cards. We're gonna read through that, but first of all, we're gonna take a look at this this tweet here. We have someone, and this is translated into English with the Chrome extension. We have Sign, who says, I feel that both the label and holder are dangerous. The reason is as shown in the reply column. So poorly translated, but essentially we're pointing out we got a Yahoo Japan listing that we're going to take a look at, the seller that we're going to take a look at, and we're going to see that people are getting duped by this. The problem with the graded cards, the fake graded cards, is the fact that people use them as a crutch. You're going to see it. People that have money that are entering the hobby that don't necessarily know what they're looking at can get taken advantage of with these fake graded cards, because they're going to say, hey, this has got to be authentic, right? Surely, this is exactly what we're looking for. Thank you very much to Auburn35 on Twitter, or 35 Auburn, for tagging me on this, for letting me know that this is going on. Yes, on Yahoo Japan, you have to be careful. Amazon Japan, a little bit less so. If you're looking to buy stuff from Japan, you don't know for sure, you're not super comfortable with knowing whether something's real or not, join the Discord. Please do so. You can also use, there's always a link in the links, codes, deals channel in the Discord. There's a buy-e. So for anyone that doesn't know, you can't just buy from Yahoo Japan. You need to use a proxy service of some kind. If you take that link, you can get 2,000 yen off your first purchase, which is about 20 Canadian dollars. It used to be 20 American dollars, but currency, the exchange rates have been absolutely wild. So you can do that. But also feel free to reach out. Happy hour is an extremely good time to do that. If you're in the Discord and you want to join the voice and video chat, it happens every Saturday. We're there usually for quite a while. If it's your first time purchasing stuff from Japan, from Yahoo Japan, or any of the other sites that you can purchase from, and you're not super comfortable, you want a little tutorial. I do have. I'll put a link down below to my, I guess, tutorial on how to use buy-e, but also at the same time, if you need a little confidence booster and a walkthrough on what to do and kind of what you're looking at. I'm not an expert in all Pokemon things, Japanese, but if I can't give you the answer, I can probably point you in the right direction. So it's a little bit of getting used to, but also you still have to be aware there are scams. If you're collecting Japanese cards, I know a lot of people are now, then you need to know how to use these tools. You need to know how to look out for what you need to look out for. So, all right, here's the listing. We have Yahoo Japan. So we've seen resealed boxes, firsthand experience on those from Yahoo Japan. And then this is going to be another seller, I guess, that's added to the do not purchase from. I need to... Okay, we have the channel, the Japan Sellers Feedback channel, but I'm going to have to update that. So if anyone is purchasing from Japan and has run into any sketchy Sketchdogger 69s, because they exist in Japan now, we got money in the cards. I'm not sure exactly. I'm kind of looking into where these fake slabs have come from exactly, but this is what we're looking at. This is the listing here, and we have... it looks like 43 bids on it and 4 days remaining. For anyone that doesn't know, Yahoo Japan is not ideal in terms of like buyer protection. It sucks. You can get absolutely spanked in the butthole. And that's probably what's going to happen here if these are real bids. Not sure exactly. Maybe if there's a way that we can report the listing, I'll take a look into that. Hopefully we can get it taken down. So that somebody doesn't get ripped off here. But also we need to spread some awareness. I don't know. the listing pictures here. Can I make them bigger? Can we make them bigger? We can make them bigger. All right, so here we have it. Always look up the cert number. If somebody's covering a cert number, whether it's an English card, whether it's a Japanese card, regardless, they either don't know what they're doing and they think that it's a good idea to block this bad boy out, or they're trying to scam you. It's a shady sign. It's not necessary, not necessarily that the person that is going to block out the cert number is scamming you. Sometimes if they have multiple PSA 10s of a certain card, they'll block it out because they want you to know that you're not getting a specific one. If that's the case, if it's on eBay or something like that, you can send them a message and ask them which one you're going to get. If you're more particular, because again, all the 10s are not always perfect. It might claim to be genuine, but there's going to be some variance in there. Sometimes it gets a 10, doesn't deserve it. Sometimes maybe it deserves an 11 and it still gets a 10. But here we have it. So they kind of blocked it out with the, we got the glare on the barcode here. Also a dead giveaway. Well, not a dead giveaway, but another little fishy thing here is, remember, people that have fake crap, that know they have fake crap, that are trying to rip you off, are probably, these are pretty good pictures. Not gonna to lie on those, but why do they have a protective sleeve on top of the case? If they're going to go through the effort of taking a picture of this, you would think that they would not have the glare there. But also, I don't know why the scammers are so dumb that they don't realize that the barcode on the label here, similar to the fake, the fake first edition base case of boxes, they don't understand what a barcode does. You scan it. You can get an app on your phone called Barcode Scanner, and you can scan the barcode. This one definitely not going to be able to scan, but also you can just match it up. You can match the thick to the thin lines on what the real card is, and that's what Auburn did on Twitter there. We'll take a look at that in a second, but also here we go. So we got a barcode on the back side. You can take a look at it right there, and that'll tell us what the cert number is. Would it surprise anyone? Would it surprise you that the cert number does not match? So also, if you're not sure, if all of these things are not adding up, if you're checking everything and anything, you got to look into the seller, whether it's on here, maybe even, well, I guess we're gonna have that resource in the Discord to have the Japanese sellers feedback to make it a little bit easier to navigate. You can go in there and check to make sure that the person's or the account name isn't on there. But also we get damage on the case. We're going to take a look at that in a second. But even if the label was perfect, we've had instances where the case is fake, the label is real. They crack it out, they resubmit, they get another 10. You can look at the card itself. You can look at the centering on the card. Here they got nice pictures of the corners and stuff like that. So if the centering isn't identical, if it all of a sudden changes and it's the same cert number, then you know you got something fishy going on. It's either a fake card or it's the real card. It's a real card but put into a fake case with the label. We'll get back to how you should be identifying. So there's a lot of little differences, and even through the extra plastic sleeve that these sneaky deaky G-ballers have put on this thing, you'd be able to see the differences in the card. I mean, there's some artifacts there, so you got to take that into consideration. But the frostiness of the certain areas, the little pegs, whatever you want to call them, on the case itself are always going to be different. The shine of the card itself is kind of a dead giveaway. Now, you can't always go by that because the photos could just be terrible or different lighting and all that. This part here, this is where they're showing you, don't worry, they have your best interests at heart. They're going to show you that there's a little crack here, but it didn't affect the card. Now, all right, look at the case. We're going to look at the real deal, the real thing with the real cert number. They used a real cert number. That's probably why they're blocking this off. They don't want you to go look it up and compare it. It takes a couple extra steps to be able to know what a barcode is, to be able to scan the barcode, to match their barcode to the actual the cert verification on PSA. So this is all stuff. If you want to collect graded cards, by all means. It's not my thing. I think it's a waste of money. I think that some minimum wage employee that's finger banging mayonnaise in between each card, they don't add any value to me. Spending $20 on that is a waste of money in my opinion, but I get it. If you want to collect graded cards though, you still need to be able to tell if you got a real card within that graded case, because they're only going to get better, and you can't just blindly trust it. They're going to reverse engineer the cases. They're going to slightly get better and better, but there are differences. But even then, there's been cases where cards are altered. Cards have been, not so much trimmed in the Pokemon world, but altered or fake cards that have been graded by the grading companies, and you got to be on the lookout for those. So you got to be, if you're spending enough money on something, like this. What do we got? We got $1,300 so far in bids with 4 days remaining. Then you need to know what you're looking at. You can't just throw money at this stuff and just blindly trust the fact that it's in a PSA case, because the case can be fake, the card can be fake, the label can be real, the case is fake. There's a combination of things that you got to be on the lookout for, and you got to know whether what you're buying is real or fake, especially when you buy from somewhere that has no buyer protection, essentially. We're not going to say no buyer protection, but essentially no buyer protection. You might be able to charge back on your credit card or through PayPal, but that might get you banned from wherever you're paying through. So you gotta be real careful. All right, let's see here. Let's read this. So it will be Lily's full power SR PSA 10, but when it came back from the appraisal, there was already a crack in the case. I'm assuming this is grading. 6th photo. It didn't reach the card. Please consider it based on that. So this is just a straight up. This is a Rattle secret tip on how to know if somebody's scamming. Is the fact that the PSA scans, which they didn't want you to see because they blocked out the number but didn't block out the barcode because they're dumb scammers. I mean, you got to be dumb to be scamming like this. Like you're gonna end up in jail. This is fraud, and it's not. It's up in a serious amount of money that you're gonna get yourself in trouble. Whether they think they're safe from whatever they're doing, it's gonna catch up to them. They're gonna get charged with it. Maybe he gets away with it a few times. Sweet, you did it. You made a couple $1,000, and now you're going to jail. Way to go! And you can tell everyone in jail that you're there because you were selling counterfeit Pokemon cards. I'm sure they will love that. It's a cool story. All right, so we got some items on here. We're going to take a look at the seller's other items. And again, at the end of the video here, we'll go up and take a look at the police arrest man on suspicion of stealing Pokemon cards. And again, Japan, we've seen with Japan, the madness that was those EV promos, the lineups, the like people grabbing at each other. Money does just the weirdest things to people. It will make people act like absolute scumdogger 69s, and we're seeing that. It's 2021 in Japan. They lagged behind. I think just the rest of the world purchasing the Japanese cards more than ever has just made this insane madness that needs to be just. I think it just needs to be corrected with just print the living crap out of everything that's brand new to the point that it just print a demand. Essentially, do you want more cards? Print a demand. People want more. Print it out. I don't know if they have the capabilities of doing so. And that's the thing too. You got a lot of these companies. It's the same with the grading companies in 2021 in the Western world, where they kind of knew it was a flash in the pan, temporary thing, or at least had a hunch because they didn't want to expand. They don't want to expand to oblivion, and then all of a sudden the market cools off. Like all of a sudden people don't want Japanese cards anymore. Or I mean, there's always going to be somebody that wants Japanese cards. There always has been. Typically the English collectors that were collecting the Japanese stuff saw it, they looked at it as a cheap alternative to having the English cards that were more expensive for the most part. So other than, yes, there's exceptions with the promos and stuff like that. But all right, let's look at what else they're selling. We got fake cards here too. We got a fake Dragonite. This is looking like they ordered stuff on Wish. The Mewtwo here, another instant mega giveaway, and I know most people that are watching the video here probably realize this. Anytime the border looks extra chunk to the extreme, it's a fake card. You don't even need to see. This could be in the dark across the room. When you got a Chunk Master border that's this thick, that's a fake boy. So there you have it. We've seen this Dragonite before too. This is a pretty common, I don't know if it's like an Etsy Wish special with the Dragonite with the stamp is just horrible. Again, a mile away. And then they combined it with some real, they got some fake English cards with the real Japanese cards at the top. I'm assuming they're real. They look like they're real. I don't know why you would ever fake these. But you got to mix those in. So I don't know if this is like an attempt at scamming maybe Japanese collectors that are new, that don't necessarily, like, they see these and then they see like, oh crap, there's some English there, and maybe they're not familiar. Maybe they think that there's a difference in the English print. There is one bid on this for 300 yen, which is not a big deal. We get $3, I guess, which it's not worth $3. These are the bottom three are fake, and someone's gonna get ripped off on that too. But yeah, there we have it. All right, so now this is another instance of, like, if you're buying something expensive, it's if it's $1,300, if it's $2,000, whatever it ends up being at the end of the auction here. I don't know. I should have looked up what the real card sells for, but I'm sure it's a lot. It's a PSA 10 of a Japanese Lily card at this point in time, so I'm sure it's expensive. But yeah, you got to look at the seller's other stuff on Yahoo Japan here. We can take a look at their other listings. So if you couldn't realize that Lily was fake, this should be like a red flag to oblivion, enough reason to not bid on the seller's items. If you go in, check the seller, see that they're selling other fake cards. Maybe you can't tell with the Dragonite and Mew if you're a new collector, but if you're buying cards even remotely close to the price of any of this stuff, even close to what the Lily, if you're spending even a couple $100, you should know that this Mewtwo is fake. Like, this is the fakest Mewtwo I've ever seen. It probably doesn't have texture on it or anything. It's hard to tell because they have it in a sleeve. Again, crappy picture. It looks like they might even be using real card backs. I don't know if we can take a closer look at this. Again, hard to tell from the pictures, but again, don't trust the fact that it's the back. If you have a card in person and you want to check the P-hole and you want to get your Jewelers Loupe, or even if your camera on your phone is good enough, you can usually zoom in enough, get a nice close picture to see the rosette pattern, to make sure that it's the real thing. And again, if you picked up a card, don't send me a DM. Just go in the Discord general chat, post some like really clear pictures, especially if it's your own photos. Get some nicely lit photos, as high a def as you can possibly post in there. And if not myself, then somebody else that's in the general chat that sees it will be able to tell you whether it's real or fake. Typically, if it's fake, somebody will be able to identify it right away. But yeah. All right, so we got Pokemon card overseas limited Pikachu V Union. So what in the absolute? They're trying to. It's not even English. We got French. We got a French Pikachu V Union. And there's the backs of it. I'm surprised they don't have French in the title. We don't have any description on this one. So we could have them like some like placeholder listings. Again, this is looking really fake. I don't know why you would have a fake. Again, it's hard to tell from the photos, other than like the shininess here is kind of a giveaway. Also, we should be looking at the backgrounds of the images as well. The backgrounds change a lot. Typically, if someone's listing things and they're all the same type of item, they're going to have the same type of background. But I mean, this person, maybe they have a different color folder that they're doing this on each time. We have another fake card. We have, they also have a listing here for the Lucamine. Very fake. This one not in the case. So again, they're probably just ordered all these fake cards from the same spot. Again, I'm pretty sure the Pikachu V Union is also fake, just based on the shine on it. Unless there's some kind of variation there that's within the it's a featured item, but no description on this one. Just banking on the facts. So we don't have any bids on this one. 2 days left. 300 yen. So people know this one's fake, but the graded case, the PSA case, is duping people, which is that's definitely interesting. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this. I'll leave the tabs open to see what they end at, but also I can hopefully get in touch with Yahoo Japan to get them to hopefully get them to remove this crap. We have like the identity confirmed. So hopefully this person gets banned for what they're doing. I think it's intentional, what they're doing here. Here we have a listing. Again, it's another Pokemon card listing, but this time we got real cards. No one's going to bid on it. So I don't know if this is just to add validity to their account, to make people think like, how is somebody selling like I mean, even then, why is this person have a PSA 10 Lily's Full Forest Japanese card, but they're also selling some like Pikachus and Raichus in a little bundle? That, I mean, this seems kind of innocent. I don't know why you would pay $3 for that. The energy here is from the 25th anniversary Japanese celebrations equivalent. So again, nothing crazy there. Now let's look at the real thing before we get into that article about the Pokemon crime in Japan. The break-ins are happening. The break-ins are happening everywhere. The West is crazy right now. Everyone is stealing from game stores in broad daylight. There's cameras there. They're stealing from game stores after hours. It's thief central. All right, so here we have it, the real deal. And we'll go back and take a look at it. But the most important places to look on this, you see these little nubs. So I don't know if you can see my cursor. These little nubs here. These should be frosty. They're going to be there. That's how the case kind of like holds itself together. They are there on the fake thing. I don't know if they like split a case apart. But the amount of frostiness, the sharpness of the corners, because I'm in the way a little bit. The sharpness of the corners is very important. Also, looking up the cert. This is why it should have been at any point, if you graded a card with any grading company, they should have the images available online. Because if you even have the slightest hunch, if you're spending a lot of money, take the time to look up the cert. Hopefully, well, with this modern stuff, a lot of it should have the photos online in the psacard.com/cert/ whatever the cert number is. There is like a little search bar too that you can use to look it up. But the clarity, you see, there's no damage here like they're claiming happened. There's no crack on the side, and typically when they're sending the cards, they're not going to get cracked in transit. It's not going to end up having a weird side crack here. I mean, it's possible that it got run over by something and before it got delivered, but at the same time, the frostiness, the little pegs, the pegs should be they're visible, but they shouldn't be clear of any kind. And the frostiness should be pretty consistent around the outsides here. If you end up with like some sketchy stuff coming down the sides, it might mean that you have something that was cracked open, but they can't get it. They can't get it right. And again, we have the barcode here. The text is actually pretty good on the fake one that we took a look at. But yeah, the frosting, the little dimples here, these are usually messed up. You'll see them. I mean, you can compare if you have your cert number and you look it up, you're going to be able to compare where these little notches are. The amount of like frosting, the frosting around the label on the fake one is decent, but the frosting down around here in the corners are extremely bad. We can take a look at the back, and again, they have clear enough photos, even though it's in a baggy waggy. We can compare the centering, the amount of space between. With a fake card, the amount of space between the borders. I don't know why they struggle with that so much. But yeah, you can compare the label to make sure that the label looks right, to make sure that like everything's in the right spot. Sometimes they'll mess that up. But again, don't rely on only the label. You got to be looking at the card. You got to be looking at the case. You can see the 3 notches on the top here. The fact that you can see them, but it's got to be a very high-res photo, and you can kind of just see the outline. It does have the little texture kind of thing within that, kind of covering that. But yeah, if you see any differences, you're probably in trouble. And again, if you're seeing differences but you're not totally sure, just come on into the Discord general chat and give it a post. So this is what it should look like. Very crisp and clean corners. The bars that hold the card in place here. The PSA logo. I mean, it's kind of hard to see on the listing, the PSA logo, how clear or clean it is. The way that the PSA kind of mounts up to each other, that has changed over time. The cases have changed over time, so make sure you're comparing 1-to-1 with what you actually got. The backwards 21 here. All right, now let's go back to the auction, and let's take a look at this bad boy. So you see around the edges, around the outside of the card here, the frosting kind of looks like the real thing around the label, but then the frosting in the rest of the case here is looking extremely different or fake. It is frosted, not frosted in the right way. The corner down here, the 21, not looking so hot. Wonder if I can blow this up anymore. Regardless, in your corners here, you can see that there's like extra plastic. I guess we can go to the close-ups that they provided. So here you can kind of see your PSA, not quite the same. You get some weird stuff going around in the edges, probably glue or whatever they use to stick it together. I don't know if they actually sonic weld any of the fake ones, but that's a huge reason for it. So here you can kind of see not so clean in the corners. I mean, the frostedness right off the gate is kind of like a bad sign. Here you can see there's like excess plastic that goes in around that edge where the open space is. And that's probably just part of their like trying to clone it. And there's the fake crack, I don't know if they like, it's weird. They're just like trying to lend to the authenticity. Maybe they probably purchased this already in the fake case, and it came with a crack in it. So they were just like, oh, this is a good excuse to like think people will think they're getting a good deal, when really I'm just trying to rip them off. So there are textures on the cards themselves. Typically the textures themselves are wrong. It'll be like the wrong stuff going in the wrong direction. So keep an eye out for that. Also the color of the card itself is a big indicator. The security label, whatever the hell you want to call it, the middle PSA thing, that's different. And yeah, so you can see not enough frosting around the edges. They do have the 3 tabbies. Those ones are kind of foggy the way that they're supposed to be, but all around. If you can't tell from the card, which you have to also always be looking at, you have to be able to tell from the case itself. And that becomes very easy, just doing a back and forth comparison with the actual cert verification photos. All right, onto the police arrest man on suspicion of stealing expensive Pokemon trading cards. Sorry for everyone that was waiting for that. I just wanted to make sure we went through in as much detail as possible on the fake stuff, because I don't want to see anyone get burned on a purchase of that sort. And again, the resources are available. Join the Discord, ask people, ask myself if I'm around, and I'll try and give you some guidance on whether something's real or fake. But yeah. All right. Now, Japanese police officials have arrested a man on suspicion of stealing Pokemon or Pocket Monster character cards from a trading card store in Yamanashi Prefecture. The officials say they arrested a 25-year-old office worker named Murakami Yuki. The Tokyo resident allegedly stole 74 Pokemon trading cards and about $140 in cash from a store in Fujiyoshida City, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, at around 1 a.m. on May 8th. The trading cards are worth a total of about $16,000. I thought it was going to say 16,000 yen. $16,000. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's serious. One card that sells for about $1,300 was among these stolen. They're probably talking about USD here. Images taken by a surveillance camera led to the man's arrest. Murakami has admitted that the allegations are true. He said that he sold the cards. He also said that he stole from other stores. The police officials confiscated large quantities of Pokemon cards from the suspect's home. They are investigating his connection to other thefts in the Kanto region. So there you have it. We have the game stores all over the world, I guess, at this point, that are getting robbed, and it's sad. It's sad to see that like someone feels like they need to do this. Then not only are they ruining a small business or making it extremely hard for small businesses, but also at the same time they're ruining their own life, because I mean if you're an office worker, you have a job, you have a life of some kind, and now you're gonna have a criminal record. I don't know exactly what the punishments are in Japan for this type of thing, but yeah, it's embarrassing, and it's also it's sad to see, and hopefully stuff gets cleared up, and it doesn't keep heading in this direction. It's supposed to be a fun thing, fun hobby, collect. It's awesome that this stuff becomes valuable or is valuable. That little extra chase that, you can't own everything. No one can own everything, no matter how much money you have. But yeah, it's something. I don't even know. It seems like more and more of this is happening, and it's wild to me to think that like Japan, who seemingly avoided the 2021 craziness, is now right in there with us. But all right, thanks for tuning in. Join the Discord. As always, if you need help with anything, do let me know. If you need help, again, the link to the buy coupon is down below. If you sign up with that, thank you very much for doing so. Let's buy you know that you support the channel, that you support them, that you're going to try it out. But please be careful with what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, watch the video first, and then if you still need help, reach out. I'm here for you. Whew. Okay, I think that's it. We're good. We gotta cut this off. This video is way too long. See you guys. Bye.